Hey Pika, I know you've been feeling a bit bummed out recently, so I found a right corker for you. Hopefully it will cheer you up a bit.
Suppose I better get into character then. Hello slimy fertilers, and we're here again to have another look at a bit of pop culture bullshit that's going off that is really of very little importance, but some people seem to think that it's the fucking be all and end all of everything. The offering today is an interview given today on the 4th of September by Munroe Bergdorf, who is, for those who don't know, have been watching YouTube over the past couple of days. Munroe Bergdorf is a transgender model who was recently given a job by L'Oreal, but then very quickly lost it when she decided to take to Twitter to come out with a load of crap about all white people being racist and the usual Black Lives Matter, we was Kangs sort of shit. The interview was done, basically supposed to be done by a panel of three. Good Morning Britain's, sort of lineup. I don't know the names of the two women, but Piers Morgan was sat there in the middle. And whether you love him or hate him, Piers Morgan does have a way of speaking plainly to people when they're peddling their bollocks. So, let's watch Piers Morgan beautifully destroy Munroe Bergdorf.
You must have known when you wrote your very public Facebook post just how sensitive those words were going to be. I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people. Most of you refuse to acknowledge your existence, privilege and success as a race is built on the backs, blood and death of people of colour.
Yep, what's just been read out there in that passage is a true and accurate recording of the words that were placed on Twitter by Munroe Bergdorf on the other day or whenever it was. Now watch how Munroe attempts to mitigate the fact that she's just basically called an entire race of people a nasty name that she would never ever put up with if it was somebody white doing the same thing.
Do you think that all white people are racist?
I don't think that all white people are by nature racist.
Well, that's not what you said in your fucking tweet, did you backpedaling twat?
From conception to birth, I think that we are all the same, but we need to speak about how we're socialised as a people. And my post was based on socialization and racism as a structure.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop you fucking lying.
I think as a society we're taught certain things. We're taught that men are superior to women. We're taught that women are meant to be submissive. We're told that gay people are meant to be ashamed of their sexuality.
Wow, the land of make-believe.
But it doesn't mean that this is how things need to be.
Whether Munroe realises that she's done it or not, what she's just done there is a technique called shotgunning. Basically what you do is you get a load of assertions or statements, you quickly reel them off, and you don't give anybody time to respond to them. In this particular case, Munroe's shotgun shells were full of horse shit.
Do you think all white people are responsible for that or believe that? Or
I don't think that all white people believe it, no.
So why the fuck did you do a tweet saying that all white people are fucking racist then, you stupid bastard? God, all this fucking shit, we haven't even got to fucking Piers Morgan's bit yet.
I think that there is cases, there's loads of allies. You don't need to think this way, and it takes actively dismantling racism to be an ally, because if you're not doing anything, then how are you helping racism?
Is that a little sly grin I see there, Munroe? Watch it get wiped off, because here comes Piers.
So you said, when you explained about this, you said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist, and heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. So yes. I'm a white straight male guy.
You're fucking a white male!
About you,
so basically, I'm like enemy number one. So I'm a racist, sexist, homophobe by your logic.
Sexist, yeah.
I'd love to know at which point Piers as being sexist. I love how she also seems to think she's still got the moral high ground here.
I'm not sexist, and I'm not racist, and I'm not a homophobe. So who are you, with the greatest of respect to you, who are you to say that every straight white guy in the world is a...
Oh my God, stop your fucking lying.
Well, you did. You said white people are racist due to socialisation in the same way that men are socialised to be sexist, heterosexual people are socialised to be homophobic. You are calling straight white guys like me a series of offensive, stereotypical labels, which I find very offensive.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay, this is why there's a problem, because you're taking it personally.
There is a problem. I am taking it personally.
You know, if Piers Morgan had gone on telly and said something along the lines of, you know, all niggers are thieving degenerate bastards and all trannies are paedophiles, it'd have been raked over the fucking coals for this, but no. We've got a black transgender woman makes a sweeping blanket statement about an entire race of people and then simply can't understand why, you know, people are offended by it. It's like I say, once again, it's the complete lack of self-awareness that people like this, you know, display that really makes me fucking sick.
Yes,
it isn't about
when you say
Piers.
all white people are racist, as a white person, I find that offensive.
Please let me speak instead of speaking over me.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so basically, instead of taking it personally, please think about how to be part of the solution.
Why don't you think about being part of the solution?
I am part of the solution.
You're not. You're causing more division.
I'm not causing more division.
You're basically causing more division.
Piers, by speaking
by telling
Piers,
all white people
Piers,
they're racist.
Let me speak.
Yeah, indeed, like I've just said, making a blanket sweeping statement about an entire demographic of the population of the planet Earth is not a solution to anything. It is an insult to that, just the same as, like I said, if you said that all black people were thieving, or all trannies were perverts and stuff like that, you don't solve any problems by doing that. That's not highlighting a problem. That's just generally insulting people. You don't cause problems to go away by insulting people. It doesn't matter how many times you insult somebody. If the insult is meaningless and, not applicable in the particular situation, then it really doesn't matter. You just turn yourself into a laughingstock. And this is what Munroe Bergdorf or whatever doesn't seem to realise. Piers is absolutely spot on here, and Munroe is really, really struggling to try and dig herself out of the hole that she's put herself in.
By talking about racism is not causing divide. There's a divide anyway.
Yeah, the divide between people who don't like being called racist when they're not, and people who call other people racist when they're not. Fuckwit.
We need to be speaking about what the root of racism, what the root of sexism is. And sexism doesn't come from women.
Okay, so we've now shifted the conversation away from racism to sexism for no apparent reason. Probably something to do with intersectionality, but never mind. But more than likely to do because of the fact that Munroe is completely unable to respond in an appropriate manner to Piers' question about why Munroe seems to assert that all white people are racist, and their flimsy denials of saying that when that's what she's actually said. This is great, this next bit.
So, of course it's caused by men. This is a social construct.
You don't think women can be sexist?
I don't think that women can enforce misogyny.
What a load of nonsense.
No, because it's all...
You don't think any women can be sexist?
Women don't uphold the patriarchy, Piers. That is not the case.
Uphold the what?
The patriarchy.
What's that?
You don't know what the patriarchy is?
I do, but explain it.
The patriarchy is basically a structure that puts men at the top of power.
Mm.
So it's not women that enforce the patriarchy, because women don't have anything to...
The five most powerful people in this country currently are women. How does that sit with your patriarchy?
And the answer to that question is, it doesn't sit with the patriarchy at all, because the patriarchy doesn't exist.
They are.
You're saying that the patriarchy doesn't exist?
I'm saying the five most powerful people in Britain are women. So this idea that men still rule the entire planet
So
and
you're
are
saying
these
that the
evil
patriarchy
creatures
doesn't
to be...
exist?
I am absolutely loving the expressions on this woman's face here. I really don't know her name. I should do, but I don't. Basically, this expression is the result of her rubbing her nose there for a minute. But when you watch her, she's literally sat there thinking, "Holy fucking shit! What am I in the middle of here?" As Munroe just continues to repeat, "So you don't believe the patriarchy exists?" No, of course he doesn't believe the fucking patriarchy exists, because it fucking doesn't. And, you know, asking the same question over and over again is just you basically saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe he doesn't believe in God. I mean the patriarchy." Because, after all, if the patriarchy doesn't exist, then Munroe's entire worldview would come crashing down, because there's nobody to blame it on. You know, in centuries past, people used to blame the world's ills on Satan and witches, and now that we know that Satan and witches don't really do anything, or don't really exist, we have to find something else to blame all of society's ills on. And conveniently, in the feminism religion, it's men. All men. Especially white men. Or so has been tacked on in recent years with the inclusion of things like intersectionality and all stuff like that. Pathetic.
removed from power
You can say
doesn't
that
really
the
stack
patriarchy
up with
doesn't
the
exist,
facts.
Piers, but the patriarchy exists.
My point about this is, of course there are serious debates to be had about racism, but my God, the world has moved, and moved fast, from
Piers,
where it used to be.
You are part of the problem. If you
I'm
think
not part
that
of the
this,
problem.
You are part of the problem, Piers, because you are denying my lived experience.
Listen and believe.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not denying
You're
you
speaking
anything.
over me.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this one there for this video. The full interview can be watched at the link I've provided below. Suffice to say, the remainder of the interview just consists of Munroe making further ridiculous claims about white privilege, and Piers Morgan just utterly destroying literally every argument that she has, and any counter argument is equally as well destroyed. So yes, well, here we go again. Thank you for watching. My social media contacts and PayPal thing and all that are up. Any donations welcome and received with thanks. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.